Good morning, everyone, and it is still morning. At approximately 4:30 this morning, we identified an issue affecting some mobile calls and data services. So the issue is impacting a number of nodes within our network that keep time across the mobile network. And when these nodes are not operating as expected, which is what has occurred, other parts of the network can be affected, resulting in intermittent issues with some mobile calls and data sessions. We've been able now to restore some of these nodes, but that will take time for that to reset across all the thousands of servers across the network. We believe that just under 90% of calls and data services at this point are now working correctly. So customers who are having trouble making a call, I encourage you to try again, and depending on how the call is routed through the network, it may connect successfully on another attempt, and people are seeing that occur. If you're at home or in the office and you have access to Wi-Fi, we encourage you to use that. If you are connected to Wi-Fi, services such as WhatsApp messaging or Teams or Facebook or FaceTime should continue and will continue to work as normal. Moving to 000 calls. So 000 calls follow a different settings in our network, and therefore they were not impacted in the same way. We have seen a small number of reports that we are investigating, and as part of our standard process, which has been operating through the night and through this morning, we conduct welfare checks when any call to 000 fails, and we've been doing this. We do ask customers not to test and try out 000 unless you need 000. We don't yet know the root cause. We are investigating that urgently, and we'll provide updates as soon as we get more information about the root cause. We know that customers across the whole community rely on our connectivity, and this network challenge has caused many issues, and it's been a big disruption to many people's days, and we apologise for that. Our teams are working right now as quickly as possible to get things back online, and we will share updates with you as we have them. So thank you so much for your patience, and we'll go to some questions.
Where are these nodes located?
So they're located in Melbourne and Sydney, largely, and we have restored a number of them, and there is further restoration to occur.
And what does a node look like?
That's a great question. Think of it as a form of server that is updating other parts of the network.
So is it essentially a server box in a data centre?
It will be in a data centre isolated one building. We know where the issue is, and the teams are moving at restoring them. We don't yet know what the root cause was.
And is that a Telstra-owned data centre, or is it outsourced?
Telstra-owned.
Yeah, and what suburb, sorry?
In Melbourne and Sydney.
Okay,
Yep.
So two Telstra data centres.
There's multiple Telstra data centres in multiple locations, but we understand where they are, and those are being restored now.
Like, is there any suggestion of malicious activity?
At this stage, we have nothing to indicate malicious activity, and we've been in contact with all regulators and government agencies to that effect, but we continue to investigate, we continue to remain curious and explore every avenue, but we have nothing on that.
You said at the start it was a timing issue. It's like essentially a broken clock.
Well, you can imagine that lots of computer systems, they have to synchronise time. It's one of the ways that you authenticate what's going on in the network. And the time synchronisation in those nodes wasn't working as it should. We don't know why yet.
Sure. You've been in this a long time. What's the scale of this disruption?
So it has been intermittent, but it has been national. So it doesn't matter where you're located. It is not around a particular state. It's not about regional or metro. It could impact any call that's been routed through, and it was intermittent.
When was the last time that Telstra had a national outage of this scale?
That is a good question. I don't have the answer to that. We can come back to you. I think this one is a set of intermittent outages. If you go back to 2016, where there were more significant outages, I don't think it is at that scale.
At its peak, how many customers do you know were affected?
I don't know. Thousands of customers.
Could it be in the hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands?
I don't have an answer to that. It could be in the tens of thousands, but I think it's more likely in the
Given that we've
thousands.
had public systems like Beeline go down, we've had payment systems like Tyro go down, essentially it's an outage that's affected the whole country though, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And it's been an intermittent outage with both data services and voice services. And I reiterate intermittent. So for things like payment systems, it could take a payment system out. We believe that that restoration is underway though.
Will you consider compensation for your customers?
Our focus at the moment is absolutely on getting things up and running, and we will deal with our customers post the event, as we will work with government and regulators on any other actions
So
that need
just
to be
to
taken.
clarify, have there been, as far as Telstra aware, any fatalities related to people who couldn't call 000?
We have made welfare checks. I don't have any information to share on that at this stage, and as we continue to monitor, we will update as soon as we know anything.
On the 000 calls, Michael, is it in some areas where Telstra is the emergency network, does that mean there are calls that cannot get through, or can you just not tell?
So no, we believe our systems, we can monitor all calls that are attempted and failing, and we have been conducting welfare checks on those. We don't believe this issue has impacted 000 in the same way as other calls. It uses different network settings, but we are continuing to investigate every angle on what might have, where it may have impacted 000 if that has occurred.
And could this have been, and it wasn't necessarily malicious, but a human error?
At this stage, we do not know what the root cause was, and I'd rather let the investigations play out and update you with when we know.
Will Telstra eventually consider compensation for businesses or people affected, like say, who couldn't get to work today as a result of this outage?
We'll work with all of our customers once we've restored, and that is our normal process. Is that we would work with customers to make sure that they're that we're caring for them and we're making sure that we're restoring their services and getting them back up and running.
Can you also just confirm this impacts Belong, but also the Aldi network, which piggybacks off Telstra?
I believe it will. I do not know the answer to that question specifically. Okay, yeah, it is the same. It is effectively the same network, so I believe that would be a fair conclusion.
There may not be a succinct answer to this. What do your engineers tell you about how long this might take to rectify?
So I do not have a response on how long it will take to rectify. As we have restored those nodes, they will then update through the servers, and it could take some time before we're not seeing any intermittent responses, but we should see those become less as we restore the nodes.
The ASX just opened. The ASX just opened. You're going into a trading halt today.
No, we're not.
Can I also ask, why is it that you're giving this press conference and not the Chief Executive Officer?
Because the Chief Executive Officer is on annual leave at this point, and I have been her delegate for that period.
And how did you get calls?
I could get calls this morning. As I said, those outages were intermittent. And my personal experiences was I had some calls that I was unable to make. I tried again, and the calls went through.
Just on the Beeline services, can you explain exactly how and why those services were interrupted?
I don't have that information specifically on the Beeline service, so I don't want to speculate, but we can come back with more information on that.
We're going to call it here now because I think we've covered the broad range of questions.
Can Australia have faith in its biggest national telco?
I believe Australia can absolutely have faith in its biggest telco, and that is Telstra. We take these outages very, very seriously. Our investment in resilience and cybersecurity and redundancy in our network is significant, but it is a big and complex network, and from time to time, issues do occur.
Thank you. We'll wrap it up. Thank you guys. We appreciate your time.